Welcome to self-myofascial release. There won't be any specific yoga in this video, but there will be work for the body that we'll be using through our wooden doweling. We'll be using a spike massage ball, and I also have a tool that is kind of like a helix shape, and this will be for the spinal muscles. So you can do this with like a little massage peanut that has a similar shape to it, where there's a groove in the middle so it can ride up and down the spine. So something like that, but this is the one that I have, so we'll be using that eventually. Let's get right into it by taking our wooden doweling here, and take the doweling now in your hands, with the knuckles facing forwards. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Lift up and over towards your left as you send your hips to the right, and just give yourself a very mindful lateral flexion. So a side bend over to your left, and breathe in through your right side of your waist. And bring your chest forward and over to the right as you lengthen out through your left side of your waist. Inhale, come on back. And then from there, take your down behind your spine and take your left hand on the bottom and your right hand on the top. And bend your knees a little bit here as you bring your elbows back in space, almost like they're trying to wrap around the dowel. And then reach the arms out in opposite directions, bring the elbows slightly wide. And then pulling the arms in opposite directions, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. And then take the left hand on the top, the right hand on the bottom. And take your time to bring your elbows back. And breathing in and breathing out. Back, reach the doweling out in front of you now, and reach the arms forward and up overhead. Bend your elbows here. Start to bring the doweling a little bit further behind. Reach the arms back and up. Pull the doweling with your arms. Exhale, let the doweling come down towards your hips. Inhale, reach the arms forward, bending the elbows, lifting up and overhead, back behind to the skull. And lift up, forward, and down. Inhale, reach the arms back up. This time take the doweling behind your spine again. Take the left hand on the bottom. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, and look underneath your shoulder to the left as you lift up for a little twist and rotation. Breathing into that low back. Inhale, come on back. And then take your left hand on the top, right hand on the bottom. Good. From there, reach your arms in opposite directions. Bend and start to straighten your right leg, bend your left knee as you turn your chest to the right and expand, opening. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, release. Take the down by your side. From there, bend your knees and place your dowel now on your mat. While you're folded forward, go ahead and take yourself into a nice rounded shape in your body. Nice round spine. Begin to spinal roll all the way up to your standing position. Nice and easy. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, the arms come down. Good. We'll take the arms together, bring your elbows together, touch your palms together, and then let your palms now face towards you. Squeeze the inner arms together as you press the elbows apart together. Lift the arms up, breathe in. Separate the elbows, bring the palms up, away. Exhale, bring the palms out wide. Tuck your thumbs behind your back. Bend your knees and lift your tailbone back and chest forward and through. Exhale, reach the arms up. Repeat one more time. Inhale. Lift up, separate. Exhale, press, push out. You're hugging those thumbs, reach the arms down, lift up. Exhale. We'll take our right toe mounds over the doweling and walk the left foot back. From there, you'll start to press your weight into your right toe mounds, bending the right knee a little bit. Inhaling. And exhaling. Keep a nice stagger back through your left foot and just go ahead and start to apply an equal soft pressure of your right foot over your doweling. Rolling out the foot and breathing in. Breathing out. Articulating through the inner and outer edges of the right foot. Keep going. And as the blood starts to flow more through the right foot, then the fascia has more ability to be slightly more pliable. So we can increase the circulation through the sole of the feet, little bit by little bit. Focus on the idea that less is more, but then doing it more frequently at a lower intensity. So that way the body gets that idea that it's getting used to the relationship of that release work, but it's not getting so caught up in the fact that it has to do all of it right now. So it's very humbling work to do this kind of massage to our bodies to help open up the other channels through who we are and what we are. And then from here, bring the doweling more behind the ball of the foot. Bend into your right knee, and then just start to sit statically into that right foot. So we start to bring a bit more awareness into a specific point, and we breathe into that point to find more space. Then roll the dowel a little bit further down the right foot. Bend and breathe into that right foot. And rolling forward once again, leaning into that third and final spot above, making sure you're above the calcaneus, so the circle, the heel bone. We don't want to be getting into the bone, but onto the plantar fascia for sure. Continue breathing in and out. Good, and roll yourself back up and just start to give a little bit more light stroking across the right foot. Now from here, using your right big toe and the index toe, grab the dowel with your toes and lean the space between your right big toe and second toe, if you can, in between the dowel. So now we're going across top to bottom along the spaces between our metatarsals. Then you can start to very gently bring the space between the second and middle toe and apply there as well. And then between the third and the fourth toe. And then trying for the fourth and the baby toe. Just bringing a little bit of space in between those two digits. And then taking the foot over the dowel and without causing any pain in that foot, just going across from side to side, across the transverse arch of the right foot. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And release. Stand with your feet as they are, nice and wide. Turn your toes out, bend into the knees, find a nice relaxed stance, and just let your palms face forward as you feel your right foot on your mat. And notice a contrast to the left foot. Shift your weight transfer into your right foot, drawing the left knee in towards the chest, noticing that connection. And place your left foot down, transfer the weight to the left foot as you brush the right foot in, knee up, and notice the difference in how the left foot stabilizes versus the right foot. Place the right foot down onto your mat and take your doweling now so it's facing horizontally on your mat, and place your left toes first over top of the dowel before you do anything else, just to start to bring that slight awareness to the left foot so you notice it's starting to happen. Okay. Good. And breathe into the nose, out through the mouth. Now from here, you can start to roll your left foot up and down your doweling, and just starting with a little bit of gentle pressure to bring more blood flow to the left foot. So through self-myofascial release work, we find that balance in that recovery in the body, stimulating the meridian lines, the energy lines that correspond with our entire physical and non-physical or energetic body. So we do a lot of meridian theory in traditional Chinese medicine and acupressure and in yin yoga practices especially. So we bring some of this active work into the process as well. Start to go a little bit more deeply into the left foot now that you've warmed up a little bit, but you want to still feel like you're rolling out pastry dough or tempering chocolate, I like to say, so you have that even pressure across the fascia at all times. Not too much, not too little, but just the right amount to keep an even movement of energy, of activity and passivity. And notice how that right foot continues to ground you as you find that release. We'll go here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from there, you can start to bring your ball of your right foot, or of your left foot, sorry, a little bit more onto the dowel. Bend into your left knee and stagger your stance, and start to bend the left knee as you bow more over that left leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. Then finding your second point of interest on that left foot. Leaning your body weight more into your left foot if you would like more intensity. Rolling down a little bit more and finding your last point of interest. And anywhere that's above the heel and below where you were just before is totally fine. now roll yourself up, finding that stroking back and forth a little bit more just to even it out across the whole surface of the foot. And start to release the left foot off. You can turn your doweling now so it faces vertical. You start to place the space between your left big toe and second toe over top of the dowel. Now I have a lot of space between my big toe and second toe, so don't force it if you don't have the same structure in your own feet, okay? And I also wear a lot of toe spreaders, so toe spreaders really help to open up the base of our feet to get more blood flow and better patterning into all of our little metatarsals. So toe spreaders I would definitely highly recommend. We'll come down into the second and middle toe space and apply a little bit of pressure forward. You can overdo this, so you want to make sure you're not overdoing it, of course. And then take the next little gap between the third and fourth toe. Breathe in and out. And then between the pinky and the fourth toe. Good, and then from there you can start to go across the arch of the left foot, especially across the transverse arch, which we get into more by doing it cross-lateral, so across the sides of the feet. One more breath here. Good, and then release your left foot down to the mat. Take a nice wide stance once again here, and just start to feel that connection into the feet, into the mat. Bend the knees, let your shoulders come more over the hips. Shift your weight to your right foot, brushing that left toes, feet in and up to your hip height. And switch. And then place your right foot down. We'll start to take this down towards the floor. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, ragdoll your spine, tuck your chin into your throat, lengthen your tailbone down as you round the spine, opening up across the vertebrae. And then place your palms down, coming in the tabletop position here. Just find a little bit of cat and cow, spinal flexion, and extension. From there, we'll find our release into our hands and our forearms. Starting with the hands though, place your hands on your dowel, rolling the dowel up and down the flesh of the thumb mound, the outer edge of the wrist in the left hand, right hand. Going up and down the finger pads and digits. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And from there, take your hands and flip with your fingers towards your knees as you start to stretch out the wrists for more of a static stretch for a few breaths. Shake out your wrists. Take the top of each hand down to the ground so the palm faces up toward you. Lean your weight into the tops of the wrists and breathe in. Breathe out. Coming back, shake out your wrists. Let your hands kind of flatten it out, up and down, side to side, rolling them around in either direction. And then interlacing the hands in front of you, flip the palms forward and round into the spine here. And then interlace your hands behind your backs. Roll your shoulders together, lift up your chest. Exhale, fold. Bring your right forearm, so the top of the right arm, onto the dowel above the wrist, and roll up and down your forearm, going up and down between the elbow and the wrist joint. Bringing more space and release through your forearms. Going for a couple more moments here on that right forearm, avoiding the bones, of course. Just the flesh of the forearm is enough here. Come onto your shins, take your left hands and finger together as you dry brush up and down that right forearm, bringing a little bit more blood to the surface of the right arm. And then sweep it down to the fingertips. Reach your right arm around, move it in all directions, and just start to notice the correlation between the shoulders here as well. And notice the left arm and see, even if the left arm might be open, maybe it feels a little bit less so than the right. And then take the second side. Bring your left forearm down as you roll up and down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Open at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back onto shins, and then start to dry brush out that left forearm using the hand to help support that action. And then brush it off with the fingertips. With your left arm in all directions, moving, exploring. Good, and then from here, we'll go ahead and find our way, taking our toes tucked into a toe squat and placing the doweling between the knee pits. So that way we start to sit back and bring more awareness into our calf and hamstring muscle groups. The hands are welcome to come down to the ground to help support you, or you can stay higher up, hands on your shins, or even rock side to side and apply some active pressure of the hands down on the dowel, which will get even more deeply into your calf and hamstring muscles. Inhaling and exhaling. And then lift up and take it down a little bit to a different point. Sitting back down and continue the process. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift up, take the doweling back, sit back and down, and continue crossing side to side. One more time here. Finding that last spot. Breathe in. Breathing out. Inhale, lift your doweling off to the side. Bring your hands onto your mat. Lift the toes off the mat. Spreading the toes a little bit wider. You can roll the ankles out in either direction here. And then you can take the tops of your feet down, leaning your hands back for an ankle release here, ankle stretch. Tent your fingertips on either side of your glutes as you press down through the tops of your feet and lift your shins off the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Leaning back onto your shins. Come forward to your hands and your knees. Roll your feet out and stretch out your right toes nice and long. And then take your left leg back, stretch out your left leg nice and long. And come to sit on your seat. Find your chip foam block and sit on your chip foam block. And find your wood doweling once again. Now I like to sit with my feet flat, so it's more of a kind of a supported, kind of gentle squatting position, so my knees don't have to be as bent. And then take the doweling in the right hand and just start to tap out the right side of your upper trapezius. And just tapping for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 4, 1. Release the doweling into your lap for a second here. Take your right fingertips out to the right, tenting them on the mat, and take your left ear to your left shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring your chin to your throat, and then we'll take the doweling in the left hand and do the same thing. Start to tap out your left upper trapezius muscles. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1, release. Take your left fingertips out to the left side as you bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Come back up. From there, take your doweling up and behind your head, and then start to turn the doweling to the top left and bottom right. Turn your chin down a little bit to the left and start to massage gently the right side of your neck. Just for 5. For another 3, 2, for 1, and switch. Doweling to the top right and bottom left now. For another 3, 2, for 1. Good, and bring that doweling back up and over. And just start to bring your chin to your throat. Rolling your shoulders back at the same time. Take your right ear to your right shoulder and roll it down to your chest. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Roll your chin down towards your chest and over towards your right shoulder. And down towards your chest and over to the left. And roll it down. Let your head roll back up. Full breath in. Full breath out. We'll take a quick release of the jaw here. Take your knuckles in little fists and just start to take the right knuckle and fist into the right cheek muscle region and just start to gently knead and massage around for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just brush it off and switch sides. And then wipe it away. And then take your index fingers behind your earlobes, and just start to apply just a little bit of pressure around there. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just take the thumbs underneath the outer side of the jawbone, jawline, and start to massage and palpate along the point of your chin. And let that release away, wiping it down toward the point of the chin. Good. From there, take your right arm across your chest and take your left elbow beneath. Pull your right shoulder back and help the left elbow tug the right elbow out to the left, and breathing into the upper right arm, deltoid and tricep. And slowly release your arm, shake out the right arm and hand, wrist, and then take the other side. Find that active pull back of the left arm, and then reach away of the right elbow to the left elbow to the right as you find opposition, and breathe into your left arm here. And carefully release. Shake out the arms, shake out the hands. Great. Now from here, you can start to cross the ankles for a second, take the block off to the side. Shift onto your right sit bone, right hip, and take your right foot towards your left thigh, coming into a mermaid or a deer shape. And then we'll get into the IT band by using our dowel. Lift your right knee off the ground and take your dowel on an angle where you can apply a little bit of weight down onto the dowel and pressing into the outer right hip and IT band. Be careful not to get right into the hamstrings. Focus more on the outer right side of the leg, so that way you can just apply a little rock forward and back, and just kind of see what comes up for you. Okay, every day is different in how much you've hydrated, how much water and lubrications in our body, in our fascia. So hopefully you've hydrated a lot, or if you're a bit more brittle, a little less hydrated, just being conscientious of that as we bring more blood flow and wipe away more static. So start to go down the track of the outer right thigh, and you can determine how much you lean forward into the dowel or rock from side to side. Every body and everybody will be different. You can bring your dowel down a little bit more on that outer IT thigh. And then find your final area that you can start to release into. Come on back up, and then if you would like to carefully extend your left leg a little bit outward, you may start to lift up your right hip and carefully roll up and down your doweling accordingly. And then from there, starting to release that down from your right outer thigh and hip. And then you can take your right hand on top of your thigh and just give it a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a release. Maybe taking your hands on either thigh and really rolling the fascia around, even down to the knee. And then switching sides as you lean over towards your left hip, placing your left foot in towards the top of the right thigh. Lift your left knee off the ground. And then start to apply that pressure toward, starting with more of the top of the left IT band, outer thigh region. Leaning in for a few moments, rocking back and forth, in and out of the pressure point. Going down, finding another area of interest. Going down to a thirds point. Going down to your last point. And then at which point, if you like, feel welcome to lift up a little bit, rolling up and down a little bit more actively through that IT band. It doesn't have to be big movements, and it doesn't have to be long movements either. Then taking the dowel off to the side. Take your feet down. Your knees rock from side to side. Awesome. From here, find your spike ball and find your chip foam block. So the spike ball is going to be supported by the chip foam block. And you'll take that chip foam block and spike ball over your right pec and just start to massage around the right pectoralis. And just starting to notice any little bits of release that you can encounter in the chest. Breathe into the ball, letting it settle into a point of interest even further if you can. Inhaling and exhaling. A couple more here. Releasing. Just let your right hand come out to the side for a sec. Let the blood flow back to the right fingertips. And then we'll take the second side of that release for the left side of the pec the chest, upper chest muscles, massaging in little circles or up and down, side to side, and exploring accordingly. And slowly softening, releasing the block in the ball. Let your left arm come out to the side for a sec, just letting that rest and soften. So we are going to make our way now into some release for our back body before we come into a nice rest. So this is where you will need your peanut or your kind of double-edged release tool. Okay. What you'll start to do now is take yourself onto your back, take your feet on the ground, and start to find the groove that's between the two parts of your roller, and place it on either side of your spine, starting above the waist bone but at your sacrum. So just around the quadratus lumborum. Use your forearms as leverage and support, or even take your hands around either edge of the mat. And then lift your hips up and just start to roll gently up and down, a little section at a time. Keep your belly firm. Breathe into your roller. And so providing ourselves the ability to get into our erector spinatus muscles, our multifidus back core stabilizers, which can get pretty stringy, pretty hairy. And you can start to roll up towards the lower middle back, lumbar, thoracic region. Going up more towards the upper back, and now you might be able to come down onto your forearms. You might even take your hands behind your head as you start to lean yourself back. Use your feet to kind of pull you and slide you up and down that mid-upper upper back region. We'll start to get more into the lower trapezius muscles here along the spine. Being super careful that you don't apply any of that pressure of your tool into the vertebra. Adjusting accordingly. If you go a little bit off to the side, that's okay as well. Just be super aware of your alignment and your body awareness here. Really going around the upper back and shoulder region now. You can always take your arms out to a cactus shape and start to move those arms around. You can bring the head down on the ground so the throat and the chest can open up, and start to make little circles with your arms, or bring your elbows out to the side and up. Continue rolling up and down. as you keep your roller now around the shoulder girdle, take your hands behind your head, tuck your chin into your throat, take a breath in. Firm your belly, press down to your feet as you lift up and curl over yourself as you find the roller more in towards the shoulders. And then start to lean back and down. Inhale. Exhale, roll the chest forward, lift the chin forward as your massage tool starts to massage down and around your shoulder blades. Good, and then from here, slide yourself down and take that roller, once again, on either side of your neck, and be very mindful with the neck as it is very sensitive and the cervical spine is super mobile. So go ahead and start to roll up and down the neck, just little grooves up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let your chin nod towards your throat. And let your head lean back. 2 more like that. Nod your chin. And release the back of your head. Nod your chin. Release. Take your left hand behind your head. Take your tool out to the side. And then using either that same tool or your spike massage ball, either works. You can roll to your right side or to your left side, angle your massage tool of choice underneath your right sit bone, thigh area around the glute flesh, cross your right foot over your left thigh for a thread the needle position, and now you can start to roll around, up and down the glute med, glute max region. You can rock side to side, up and down. And if you feel that is needing a different sensation, then you can take one of your other tools as well. Really starting to apply some firm and static pressure into your right glute. Being mindful if you have sciatica or just anything within the TAS region, just to be very mindful of that as well. So you don't cause any aggravation beyond, but enough to know that you are providing some relief into that region as a whole. You're welcome to grip around the ball or your tool, and grip meaning contract the muscles around the right glute, around the ball, like you're trying to shrink the ball around the glute. Contract for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly let go. Move around a little bit more into your fascia, to the glutes. When you find another area of interest, contract around that ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go around and find one last area of interest and contract for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And you can start to bring your right leg out and circle, lift, and just mobilize that hip a little bit. Bring your right foot down to the mat. And for a second here, bring your feet together and knees wide, feeling the contrast of sensation or spaciousness around the right and the left glute. Placing the feet down, cross the left edge of the foot over top of the right thigh with the knee. Placing your spike ball or massage peanut or whatever tool you have, even a tennis ball or a golf ball, a cross ball will work, and shift your weight into your left glute. That's the proper word, glute. And breathe into whatever sensations are coming up for you. All of them are applicable and totally sane. And you can start to find other areas of interest that the body is speaking to. Breathing into those and finding stillness accordingly. And keep manually shifting the location of that spike ball. And from there, start to find an area of interest that you can sink all your weight into. Contract around that sensation. Squeeze the ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then completely release. Find another area around. Let the hip fall into the ball. Contract and squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going around, finding one last area, squeeze and contract. And let your left leg be free to move around and just release any last little bit. And then bring your feet together and your knees wide.
You were right. I know I can get.
We'll take a couple more releases here. We'll roll over to the left hip and take the ball right around the quadratus lumborum. So that juncture at the waist bone, at the low back, on either side, beside the SI joint and above the waist bone, so you're not getting into any bone or vertebra, but getting into the deep flesh and fascia of your low back. At which point, you might choose to lift your hips up and lower them, feeling that pressure of the ball applying into the low back and releasing, lifting, releasing, lifting, releasing. always hug your right knee into your chest, keeping your left foot flat for support. And just start to rock from side to side, across the ball, breathing into your right lower back. One more breath here before we switch sides. And then lean over to the left. Place your right foot down. Lean over to the right, placing that ball into the second side. And you can always cross your left foot on top of your right thigh to help rock side to